Hey guys, Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning recipes, a little bit of everything, and what have we been doing to prepare for our fall garden. Check out these videos. We did receive about 16 cubic yards of mushroom compost that we mixed into the soil. We wanted to get about 3 inches high or 3 inches thick on the top of the soil, and then my husband tilled it in. Check it out. Whoa. Yeah, there it comes. And stuff, because I will continue working this until we get the high tunnel installed, and then we'll go in with our rest of the. So as you all know that we're getting a high tunnel, and with that coming, I'm going to have a little bit more time to get my seeds started in my little seed starter trays, and also plant what I intend to plant for this fall garden. So let's go over that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So what I did, guys, is I went and ordered these little trays here where I can do my seed starting for my broccoli and my cauliflower and my kale. And looks like I'm going to do some cabbage as well, and maybe a couple of other things. My lettuces and my spinach I will sow directly in the soil, along with my carrots, my beets, and my purple top turnips. So what I did, since we can't get out, guys, is I've taken some of the soil that my onions grew in one of my raised beds, and I've mixed it with some of the mushroom compost that we got this week. And so now I have me a great potting mix, and I'm going to start filling my little trays, and I'm going to put my seeds in. So to give me a jump on my high tunnel, I have some Swiss chard here, I have some cauliflower, I have some cabbage, and I have my Brunswick cabbage that I'm going to start in my little tray. And then I have some kale. These are seeds that my friend gave me that I'm going to start in my little tray. And then I have my broccoli. So these all are going to be seed starters now. We are still very hot in Texas. It is going to be 107 degrees today. Yesterday it was 109. It was terrible, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these in my little trays. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And we're going to keep them moist, damp, and we're going to keep them cool. I may put them out in the sun maybe an hour or two during the day, but keep them moist. And when they start to grow, I'm going to transplant them into some 4-inch pots, which I'll show you shortly. My lettuces and my spinaches, which I have a huge bag of the Bloomsdale spinach, I will wait and plant directly in the ground when the high tunnel is up in a couple of weeks, and we should be just fine. So I'll wait for my lettuce, and I'll wait for my spinach, and I'll wait for my arugula and my salad mix, and these will all go directly in the ground, but I wanted to show you what I was going to plant. Another thing I'm going to plant directly in the ground are my carrots. So these are about 7 to 8 inches long, but I think with the high tunnel we're going to be just fine putting them directly in the ground in about another 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, guys, so here's my little seed pods here. I've got them filled with my planting mixture, and I have a tray over there, and I chose the tray that did not have drainage because I want these to stay moist, and right now that's exactly what we need. So I want to tell you that I was able to get these little seed trays and the drainage trays from Amazon. I did go to a supplier that was for growing supplies, and let me tell you that before my cart came up and I was ready to check out, it was already like $300, and the freight was going to be like $75, and I stopped myself, thank goodness I did, and I went to Amazon, where I am a Prime member, and found these very same seed trays and found the drainage trays at so much a cheaper price, and there was absolutely no shipping cost So I would encourage you, before you buy anything online from another retailer, that you might go check out Amazon and see what they have. So let's get started on planting our seeds. I have my little seed pods filled, and I did go ahead and fill them up with water to moisten them so that maybe my seeds will germinate a little bit better. And there are about 72 little pods in this tray, guys. A great seed starter. To start out, guys, I'm going to put about 2 seeds in each of my little pods, and these are my cabbage seeds. And I'm going to do 14 of these because I want to make sure I have plenty of room in my new high tunnel to get a full row in. And cabbage has very long leaves, and they have very large heads, so we want to make sure we have enough. So I've got my seeds in there. Now I'm just going to push them down in there, and you can see that my soil is very damp to help germinate quickly. They're very little seeds. In fact, they look a lot like radish seeds. And I think these trays that underneath don't have any drainage is going to allow these to stay damp, and that's what I want until they start to germinate. So this tray here is probably going to help me start my high tunnel, just this one tray. I've got a lot more trays that I'll use to start my tomatoes and my spring crop, starting maybe for some of them in November and December, so that we can plant them in the high tunnel by January and have a harvest by the middle of February. So I've got those in there. Let's go ahead and get our identifiers in there so we know what we've planted. And these identifiers I also got off Amazon, very reasonably priced. That's where you need to go. Again, I did go to a grower supply, and it was just the prices were inflated. I'm sorry, but they were. And so we went with Amazon, where we got free freight because we do have a Prime membership. Looky here, guys, these are going to be fantastic. And we will keep these damp and moist until they germinate and start to grow. And then we'll transplant them into our 4-inch pots if needed. We'll see, because I do plan on planting as soon as that high tunnel comes in and getting things in the ground, but we'll wait and see what these do. So next, I'm going to go ahead and start my organic Waltham broccoli. Again, I'm starting these now because they will take a little bit longer to germinate and to get to where we can transplant them. So looky here, the broccoli seeds are very similar to the cabbage seeds, and that's why you want to go ahead and label your seed starters. Let's get started. Two to 3 in each little pod. And if you did get your seeds ahead of time, you know that you have quite a few probably on hand, and you want to be sure and keep them, because I do believe there's going to be a seed shortage coming up in the year. So I have 14 of those. And I'm only doing 14 right now, guys, because the high tunnel is going to be a new experience for us, and we're going to have to kind of gauge it and figure out what's going on. This is all new, but I do have confidence that we're going to get this stuff to grow, and so I'm very excited. So I'm going to push these into my damp potting soil with a little bit of compost mixed in, and I'm putting 3 to 4 seeds in each, just to make sure that at least one germinates. Be sure and be cautious with your seeds this year. You want to hang on to everything that you have. We don't know if we'll be able to get them next year, and so thankfully I've gone ahead and ordered for my garden next year, and I am prepared. And of course, if they come available, then I'll go ahead and order them. and you should too. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So now we're going to start labeling and identifying our broccoli. Now to get our cauliflower in, and you can see again the seeds are very similar to the broccoli and cabbage. So that's why you need your identifiers. So let's go ahead and get these going. Again, we're only starting about 14 of my little pods because I want to ensure that I'm giving enough room in the high tunnel for what we intend to be our test crops. This is all new to us. Swiss chard is going to be our next, and I'm going to go ahead and start this. I know that I could probably go ahead and put this in the ground once we get the high tunnel, but I want to ensure that I'm going to have some of this year, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do a seed starter. So let's look and see what we get. So these are very different looking seeds. Let me put them in. I'm going to put 2, since they're big, into each little seed pod. And this is a very healthy green that you can put in your salads, or you can put on sandwiches. Guys, just try to grow whatever you can this year. I know I've emphasized that on several videos, and I want to try to emphasize it again. Try to grow everything you can this year. Put those down in that moist dirt. And I think that these will germinate in the next 7 to 10 days, and I will foster them. And again, I'll put them into a bigger size pot if it looks like that's what we're going to need to do before we put them in the high tunnel. Now, if we weren't going to be using the high tunnel, guys, I would go ahead and plant directly from my little seed starters, because by the time they start to germinate and get big enough to transplant, most parts of the country are going to be cool enough to get these in the ground. So the next 14 little seed things we're going to do is red cabbage. So again, we're going to put 2 to 3 in each little pod. We're trying to be conservative on our seeds this year, and we will be next year as well. Okay, last but not least, we're going to put some Dwarf blue curled Scotch kale in the ground. These are seeds that my friend gave me. So I'm going to use my last 14 seed starters for kale. All right, guys, we got everything planted, getting ready for the high tunnel that's going to come in the next week or so. My husband's going to probably take about 2 weeks to put it up. We'll do a video then and showing you how everything is going. And then these things are going to germinate, and they're going to sprout, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, guys, we got our seeds in our little starter pods, and should they not be ready in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks when my husband has the high tunnel up, I'll go ahead and transplant them into these 4-inch plastic seed starting pots. I have a problem with that. Seed starting pots. Anyway, look at this, guys, 150. Got these from Amazon at a great deal. So what you want to look at doing right now is, if you haven't already, is go ahead and get your little seed starters, your pods, and then go ahead and get some 4-inch seed starter pots. pots. So you can transplant these and let the plants get a little bit higher. And I plan on using these toward, I think I'm going to start my seeds in November and December for my spring planting. And I'll start them in my seed pods here. And then I will transplant them to my seed pots here until they're big enough. And then by the time my high tunnel is ready for my spring garden, we will have some pretty good sized plants to go ahead and get in the ground. So that's what we're going to do. Again, I got these on Amazon.com. They were much cheaper and it was free delivery because we do have a Prime membership, and some of the grower supplies I looked at was a little more expensive than this, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money, but I will spend this kind of money. So what am I going to be doing in the next couple of weeks? I'm going to be fostering my seeds in the little seed pods, and I am going to monitor them, and as they continue to grow, if it looks like it's necessary, I'll transplant them to the 4-inch pots. If not, I'll put them directly into the ground. I'll also plant directly into the ground when the time comes and we get that high tunnel up, my carrots, my purple top turnips, my beets, and my lettuces, and my arugula. We have several different variations of lettuce. We have the butternut, we have the romaine, we have the regular arugula, we have the salad mix. These are all seeds, guys, I got starting last year at the beginning of this year, because I knew there was going to be a seed shortage, and you need to pay attention to that. Go get your seeds for your spring garden now. This is something you need to do. If you have dirt in your backyard, you need to plant. Grass is beautiful and it's enjoyable, but I'm telling you, if you have dirt in your backyard, plant vegetables instead of your grass. Get things going. We are in unprecedented times, as you know. We are making adjustments here on the farm. We hope to have a fantastic year next year. We have modified our soil in the garden over here, and Lord help us, we pray that everything comes up wonderfully. Stay tuned. If you like this video, we ask that you click that subscribe button and click that little like button. And we also ask that you click the little bell so you know when I post a new video, because we got lots of good things coming up. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of days.